Hey guys, it is USS Wisconsin 94, and today I was going to be doing a little bit of an update video talking about World of Tanks new update 4.6. And well, as you can see right here, I have everything in the background just to show you guys basically what's going to be and whatnot. Well, let's get to it. Now, as we can see that we have new mercenary tank trees, which is interesting. It's going to be interesting to see more about these later down the road. Got Thresher, Sharpshooter, Stinger, Long Reach, Thunder Bucket, Roundabout, Deadbolt, and a Machine. I'm just going to say right now, if you can hear my computer or the fan or anything like that, I apologize. It's pretty flipping loud right now for some reason. But there's not much I can do about that, so sorry about that. The next one is we have a new artillery trajectory cam. Basically, the camera view that's in PC, instead of just pure satellite, now you get to see it from the side, kind of. Basically what it says right here and whatnot, which is pretty nice. I just tried it earlier this weekend with my T92, and it feels a lot better, actually. It feels pretty good. We have clear camouflage. Basically, if you don't want to put any camouflage on your tank, you just want to have clear camouflage, but still get the bonus and whatnot. Whatever. Dynamic battle music. I'm not entirely sure what that is, to be honest, but one of the first things I did was honestly turn it off. Here we go. HP bars with values. We finally have this. After 4.5 fucking years, we finally get this. About damn time. Some of my new videos you'll see coming up later this week and whatnot. The chances are you'll probably see it and they feel so much better than before. Great change to see, and better late than never kind of thing. Platoon changes. Well, truth be told, I really don't platoon that much. There's not enough time to really try and ask people, hey, you want to jump on and get on a platoon and whatnot. There's all the problems with things like getting the comms right and basically all the other stuff that makes platooning a bit of a pain in the ass for me. But it's good to see the limit to 3 already per platoon. Too bad that isn't limited to 1 or something like, or just remove artillery in general and whatnot. Another one is that you can no longer fail platoon. Kinda. It's good to see that they actually brought this in. Even though that some people would say, oh, the fail platoons are okay. It's okay to have a KV2 in a tier 10 game. No, it's not. It's not fun for anyone else except for maybe you. It's not fun for anybody else. You're just wasting everyone's time doing that. Randomized crew name. Okay, I really don't care about that. They got some more tank balancing and whatnot, which is nice to see. And we now have 2 tier 10s brought to the branch for the British and the Chinese. The WZ 1115A as a Chinese tier 10. And honestly, I'm not very excited about this one. It's the Super Conqueror, which is basically what it is, a Conqueror that's on crack cocaine and shit like that. For some reason. It's ridiculous. New maps, we got Con 1944. I tried one game of that. It did not end well. And we also have Pearl River back, which is very good to see. Been wanting to have that back. We got some other new improvements. I'll try to remember to put in a link in the description, but I'll go a little bit slower so you guys can, I don't know, pause it or something so you can check it out yourself. Or just put the link in the description so you guys can jump in and whatnot. Okay, now we're on a tank balancing. Okay, I'm going to start right now. Anything basically under tier 5, I honestly don't really care, truth be told. So these ones right here, I'll just kind of go slow it down so you guys can see them and whatnot. Then I'll start to talk about things a little bit more interesting. Okay, well, besides this, we have the duck tank. I got a buff. Interesting. I honestly never expected it to get a buff. AMX 5100, they gave it a gun depression buff. I don't know why they did this. This was a stupid choice in my opinion. I don't think giving this the whole entire line 7, 8, 9, 10 degrees gun depression is good. I think that's a terrible idea. The Lorraine 30L, 39L AM, pretty sure that's artillery. Artillery doesn't need a buff. Fuck artillery. The Batshit 25T, updated HD, so basically it looks like PCs. Again, PC. And they buffed the ammo count for the 100mm. And they nerfed the 105 reload time. Good. Fucking good. That thing fucking needs a nerf. I know some people are going to get super salty about this, and you know, I don't care. The Bat Chat 25T is bullshit. It needs a fucking nerf. AMX 13105, again, artillery, don't care. GR1, artillery. 1390. It got a 2.5 reload, 2.5 second reload nerf. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. Still pretty strong. It still is a great tank. From everything I keep hearing about, it still is a very good tank. So this is very minor nerf. Unlike some people, it's like the end of their lives. They're about to die if they don't... Oh my god. Fucking people. Same for the 50B. I got a 2-second reload nerf. Oh my god. Some people are super salty about that. The AMX M445, you can buff it all you want. It's still going to be trash. Artillery, trash. Renault. Low tiers. And we have the Foch. I like the idea of it being an auto... Actually, no, I don't like the idea of it being an autoloader, truth be told. I think that's ridiculous. And I don't know why they did that, truth be told. I still would like to have an option for this to be a single shot gun. I think they should have did that. I think they should have made this as an option. It annoys me quite a bit that they didn't make it an option. But I don't know, like give it the 120 SA46 ACR or something like that for auto reloader or AR for auto reloading something. I don't know. That would have been nice. But I'm very curious to try it out. Bat Chat 25. Bat Chat 25. What? The Bat Chat 58. No, fuck artillery. Fuck it. It can go fuck itself. AMX NAC 48. Okay, basically just like the Foch, it's been turned into an autoloader. I'm actually very curious to see how this thing works. Looks pretty fun. Even before, it actually looked pretty fun. Because you got the 120, which is a really good gun. A 10-second reload. Sadly, the tank still has a giant commander's hatch on its ass for some reason. The S35CA, the bathtub, that got a view range nerf, which is probably a good thing because TDs really don't need their own spotting, especially for low and medium tiers. They don't really need that. Higher tiers maybe, but low tiers now. The Suomi S35, I keep looking at that wrong. And here we have the Foch 155. They basically just give it the Foch speed, which, oh my god. Why do we need this? I don't understand why did this have to happen, but it's fucking wargaming. They gave it a better they get a huge buff to elevation from 12 to 18. A slight gun depression buff, which is good to see. I still don't think the Foch 155 or the Foch B is a very good idea to have it in a game with the way that they are. The Bat Chat 155-55, basically, I honestly don't know, it's just a package change, not much to go through them there. And here's another one, AMX 30B, okay, I'm a little confused by this one. I agree with them lowering the penetration for APCR and heat rounds, the way that they have it right here. But I'm a little surprised that they didn't actually give it the reload buff as well. I'm not sure why they did that for that, or the 30B, or the 30. Yeah, they also gave it a reload nerf. I'm not entirely sure why, but okay, it's wargaming is wargaming logic as usual. I think that's a little bit more extreme. I think they should give it a reload buff, but no more than faster than like 9 seconds in my opinion. AMX 13105, that got a 5-second reload nerf. I'm not sure why they nerfed this, truth be told. I'm a little confused by that, but whatever, it's wargaming. The Bat Chat AP, that got a buff as well. Joe, why are you here? Go away. Go away, Joe. That got a buff. A lot of fucking people are coming on right now. Okay. FCM got a buff. The Liberty, same thing, got a buff. The AMX Chaffee. Okay, I've been saying this for a while. I think it should be a tier 7, but I think they should have buffed the acceleration and the top speed and give it some more ammo if you're going to do that. The tank is already technically a tier 7 with its matchmaking, but still, I don't get it, but it's wargaming. Not much we can do about that. I think a buff would have been nice than other just pushing up to the tier, 1 tier, but whatever. Not much we can do about it. T-34-1 got a chassis hull nerf to about 2 degrees. Not that big of a deal. The T-34-2 got a buff. It actually got a pretty big buff. Wow, that's a second reload faster on its reload. That's pretty good. Oh my god, people. I should have turned that off before I started this. I didn't realize I was going to get that many people signing on. T-32 buff. Good. Sadly, it really doesn't help. It's still a terrible tank. The Stuart gets a buff. The IS-2 got a model update. The 105 on the Wheezy 111114 got a nerf. Severe nerf. I don't know why they did that, but okay. The T-34-3 black and T-34-3 normal, they got an armor buff, which is... Okay, I'm curious to see that, actually. Interesting. I think that's the Type 59 model, but with the 122, but I'm not sure. The 5916, that got a buff. Yeah, basically got a buff and some changes, I don't know. Wheezy 131, 132, 132A1. They got model updates, and Wheezy 132A, Jesus, the Wheezy 1321. They could have given it a different name, but I don't know why. They gave it a 2.5-second reload buff. Okay, I don't know why Wargaming did that, truth be told. And the 121 actually got terrain resistance nerf from 1.6 to 1.9. I don't get that. The 113 got another 5,000 to research it for XP. I already have it and researched it and then sold it because it's terrible. And now they just made it slightly more terrible for some reason. I don't know why. 59 patent. That got a nice little buff. Too bad heat is still 250 and trash. The Wheezy 111 tank destroyers. Those got some pretty significant nerfs. I'm not sure why, though, but it's okay. Okay, Wargaming. The check line, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, 4, 7, 9, and 10. The T-34-100, I'm not sure. I don't think it needed a nerf, truth be told. I think it needs a buff. That thing looks terrible. I don't want to touch that. If it was at Tier 6, I would say it looks pretty interesting. But at Tier 7, no. I still would rather have the T-20 instead of this damn thing. The Skoda. They gave it a nerf. Although this is a single shotgun. This isn't the autoloader. They already nerfed that last time. Pretty significant nerf. A little more than I think they should have done. But there's not much I can do about that. And here we go. Oh my god. The TVP T5051 got 3-second reload. It got another reload nerf. I think they caught its reload by like 6 seconds for all these nerfs that they did. It used to have 25, then they did it to 28, and now it's 31. I don't get it, but it's Wargaming. It's Wargaming's game. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. Do we agree with it? Not particularly. Some of these changes are good. Some of them, like this one, I'm on the fence with, mainly because I want to see them. I want to see 50Bs, bat chats, and TVP owners cry a fucking river, truth be told. Mainly to get them to understand is that your tank is a bit too strong and whatnot, but whatever. Now we're in Germany. The VK3601H, a 75mm buff. VK30, don't care, don't care. Yak Panther, I'm kind of glad I bought this before the nerf. Although it's the 88, so it's a 0.1 second reload nerf. Who gives a shit? The view range nerf is I'm a little concerned about that. I don't think they should have done that, in my opinion, but not much you can do about it. The VK3002D, I think that's basically the real Panther. The Tier 6 Panther is basically what it is. They got a pretty freaking big buff, which is nice. Some other tanks. The Mouse. Oh, their Mouse got a nerf. This makes me laugh. You know what? I don't have any sympathy for Mouse players. Ever since they got the turret buff, I don't care. You get either one. You deserve either a really good gun or really good armor. You don't get to have both. I still say that they should have nerfed the armor back to the way it was, and the gun, leave it like this, but give it better mobility. Like there are 3 or 4 degrees of traverse in the hull and the turret, and give it a top speed of 25 kph is what I think I should have done. The Yak Tiger was buffed by 10, that's pretty freaking huge for this thing, which is pretty. It's going to be interesting to see how that thing feels. The Panther 2 got a buff, just a slight buff to its turn rotation, which is nice and whatnot. And the E75 got the top speed buff. Oh my god. I can't believe they actually did this. I've been saying I think I should get a top speed buff, but doing so meant that it would have some other changes, like bringing the horsepower of the engine down to 1,000, and maybe changing the ground resistance with buffing the hull and the turn traverse a little bit to compensate for it and whatnot. But this is not what I meant, Wargaming. What are you doing? What the fuck? I'm still going to buy it back, and I'm still going to enjoy myself with it, but I think it's a bit ridiculous, truth be told. The VK2801, that got a bit of a buff and a nerf at the same time. We got a little better camo. I honestly have no idea what the fire penalty is. I think that means every time you fire the gun, the worse it gets. It got a buff for the max health, which is interesting. It got a better view range as well for the first turn, but not the second one. The E50, oh boy, oh shit. Okay, aim time to 2.1 to 3. Why? I think it was fine the way that it was. The reload to get a 1.4 second nerf. I don't get it. I think that E50 was pretty strong. And probably a little bit more stronger than I think it should have been, but I don't think that this right here, this wasn't necessary. Wargaming. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. Yeah, low tier. Indian Panzer got a buff, which, cool. I never expected it to get a buff, truth be told. That sounds pretty. It looks pretty. Looks a lot better than before, which is nice. I'm actually kind of curious to try it out. VK30 HD. The Leopard 1. Oh my god. Jack! Jack, I am going to find you. I will find you. Anyway. Leopard. The Leopard got a buff to its camouflage, which I've seen it already. I had a Leopard in my own patent. Outspot me for some fucking reason. I don't know how. You must have a much better crew than I did and a little better camo, but man, he outspotted me in my patent. Damn. The PTA got a buff. It's the 90mm. I don't think anyone cares about that, truth be told. The Waffle. Oh my god. Why? Why is this still in the fucking game? This thing is fucking trash. Fucking broken piece of shit. Broken as shit. Needs to die in a fire. That's it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Stug. Panzer. Don't care. Don't care. The RU-251. It got a reload buff. Huh. I never expected that. And I'm actually kind of excited to try it out again. Too bad it still has 6 degrees of gun oppression over the fucking front of the tank for some goddamn reason. But good to see that the gun got a buff. Nothing else did. The Spooky Spice SP1C. This got a freaking huge buff. Damn. A 2.3 reload second buff on the Makar gun. Damn. That's a pretty big buff, too. I never expected them to touch this again. But either way, I might actually buy it back now. Alpha Panther, don't care. The Panther 2J can fuck off. Low tiers, low tiers. Low mid tiers, low mid tiers kind of thing. The Yag 88 got a buff. It got better rotation. So now it has the same rotation as the normal King Tiger. Which is good to see. Hopefully more people will play this because nobody plays this damn thing. I might buy one. Probably not though. The Stewer Emil, the Stubborn Emil, that got a slight buff to camouflage. Fire penalty went up. I still don't know what that means. The Sturm Panzer 2. What the fuck is that? The hell's a Sturm Panzer? I assume the GW Tiger or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. It's got 150, so it must be artillery, but I don't know. Vespid, why? I don't know why both these guns got a buff. Artillery doesn't need a buff. It doesn't. GW100 got a buff for some goddamn reason. The Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, I'm glad to see this thing got a buff. I think it really needs it. 200 has 320 alpha. It really does need a reload buff in my opinion. It really should get more alpha to like 350 is what it should do, but wargaming. Martyr, don't care. Nashorn, yeah. E50M, okay, it's a 0.2 second reload nerf. It is not the end of the world, people. You can act like it is, but it's not. Calm the fuck down. Jesus, people. Reload nerf, not a big deal. VK 4502 Bravo, that got a nerf. That got a pretty big nerf, which I'm actually happy to see, because fuck the VK. The Maushin got a nerf as well. I'm glad to see. That thing is a bit ridiculous in my opinion still. The armor is still... The armor for the Maushin, the Maus, and the VK100P are still bullshit. I'd rather see them do armor nerfs than gun nerfs, truth be told. The Pan 38, that got a buff. VK, this got a buff. Buff, everything got a buff, basically, right here. Panther 3J got a buff, I think. I have no idea. The Vespid, again, wait a minute. Did they already show this? Yeah, they already showed this one, I think. I don't know why. Chini, don't care. The Atsu, no, I don't care. Chiri, Chinu, Chiri got a buff. What? Okay. Cheeto got a buff. The STA-1 got a buff, which is good to see. It really needs it, truth be told. SCB got a reload. Oh my god, Wargaming, what are you doing? Why? Why does it need a nerf? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get Wargaming. Type 5 Heavy. Type 4 Heavy. They both got nerfs. Thank fuck. Their heat round is no longer the E100s. It's basically dropped it to where it should be. They dropped like... Damn. Dropped to like 70 millimeters of penetration, which is flipping huge. But still good. They both deserve it, truth be told. Considering most of them just fire HE anyway. The Oho, Oni, OI experiment, they all deserve nerfs. I don't give a shit what anyone says. You do not get any sympathy from me, especially when you're using the derp. No, this tank is... These guys are ridiculous. The Nameless got a buff. Why did they get an armor buff? Fucking why? 220 to 240. Oh my god, Wargaming, you're so stupid. Analyze got a buff. The price, that's it. That really doesn't mean much. The Hago, Type 89. Okay, whatever. Sweden. Updated physics for all Swedish tanks. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I guess it hopefully means I won't flip my Emil anymore, or as much. That'd be nice. Got some buffs. Striv 74 got a nerf. I'm a little sad by that, but that's only the first chassis, I think, so that's good. Good to see. The Leo got a nerf. The Emil got a nerf as well. I don't know why they nerfed this thing. Why? It needs a buff. The side armor is fucking trash. It needs a buff. 20 millimeters is not enough to block a goddamn thing. Go against a fucking tier 3 and it'll fucking pen you just because. The Kragwagon. This got a buff. Good to see. Good to see, actually. I think it needs it. Now it has 2100 HP over 2000, which is good to see. Even better, the turret traverse got a better jumped up as well. Hopefully they'll do the same thing to the Emil too, because that really fucking needs it. Same for the engine. Both the Emil and the Kragwagon need to have the engine buffs. It's like 700 for the Emil 2 and 800 for the Kragwagon. But that's just me. Oots, SURV, these got nerfs. Good. You're not going to get any sympathy from me from any of these things. These fucking TDs. The SURV 103B and 103O. cancer. Especially because of overmatch mechanics Wargaming. You really need to fix this. I don't know why you keep doing it, but okay. Striv S1, that kind of nerf. Good. I think it needs it. I don't feel bad. The Sabaton got the updated hull and turret collision models. Fucking Wargaming. Giving them sense fucking armor like that. Ridiculous. Oh my god, they buffed the IKV. Why would they buff it? Why? Why do these need a buff? UK. You're at the United Kingdom. A lot of buffs, apparently. And some nerfs. Matilda nerf. The Cromwell got a buff. It got a pen buff for some goddamn reason. I don't know why. Churchill. Okay, this one surprises me. The Black Prince is basically the biggest turd. One of the biggest turds of Tier 7, besides the AMX M445. And then they did this. They buffed it. They gave it a huge pen buff and a reload buff as well. Too bad it's slow as shit. But it actually looks kind of decent. Which is weird. Very strange, actually. Sherman Firefly got a buff as well. The Carnarvon. Oh, I want to try. I really want to try the Carnarvon. I kind of like the Carnarvon, actually. I thought that was actually pretty fun to play. And then they do this on PC and then on here. Now it looks pretty fun to play. I'm curious to try it out. The Conqueror. Okay, I bought back the Conqueror. This is such a stupid change. They made it a little heavier, and they made the turret rotation slightly worse. Not even worth mentioning. And they gave it a gun depression buff to 10 degrees. Oh, they didn't even nerf the gun reload. It still has the same reload as it did before. Because fucking Wargaming. I don't get it. Churchill 7 got a buff. Buff. The Comment got a buff. Still terrible. I'm still not going to play it, ever. The Scent got a buff. Okay. The Scent 7-1, the Scent 1, and the Centurion Action 10, the Cax. None of these needed armor buffs like this. I would have said 200 millimeters would be fine. That is as far as you go. Maybe 220 on the Cax, but this is ridiculous. Why is it getting heavy tank levels of buffs when they're mediums? Why? Why are we following PC like this? This is one of those times where I say, no, don't follow PC. Drop these down to 200. It makes no goddamn sense. But it's fucking Wargaming as usual. The FE got a update, model to HD and whatnot. Buff, got a couple buffs. Basically some buffs, which is interesting to see. And a couple nerfs as well. The Churchill GC is still terrible. Artillery can go fuck itself. The Conway got the derp gun. Oh, I got the 5.5 inch. Oh, I'm at the, what is it? I'm at the Charioteer right now. I just bought it. I'm so excited to try the Conway. I will be getting the derp, and I will enjoy every minute of it. It looks very fun. I can't wait to play it. The Shit Barn. This got a buff. With that cancer hash brown it has, this thing deserves every fucking nerf that ever could come to it. Both this and the Shit Star both need a nerf. They need to remove the premium hash brown. That thing is just fucking cancer in 10 different ways. Challenger, this got a buff. Good to see. I already free XP'd it before the update, so there's not much I can do about that. The Charioteer, I just bought this. I have not played a game in it yet, unfortunately, because of time. I will be trying out. It looks like fun. I tried an Proving Grounds. It's super... That turn traverse, oh my god. It's fucking slow as hell. The Cash got a buff for some goddamn reason. The Tog got a buff for some reason. Okay. The FE, this finally got a buff. Will you people stop complaining about it now? Jesus. Birch got a buff. Sexton got a buff. This got a buff. This got a nerf, and this got a nerf. Okay, good. The Patton. Okay. We finally have the A5 version. I'm just going to say it again like I said before. Why not just give us the M60A1 instead? This is basically what it is. It's like a step or two down from the M60A1. The patent is good, but it's still the patent. It's still a fatten. It's still fucking huge. Give us the M60A1 with a model, the hole, and everything else, except for the little tumor on top. Cut that off, and that'd be great. The T37, this got a buff. Cool. Probably won't buy it back, though, just because I have so much other shit to look at it. But good to see. The Walker Bulldog got a pretty freaking huge buff as well, which is surprising to see. Yeah, it got a little bit of a buff. Cool. The Brazilian Bulldog got a buff. T69 got a buff. It really doesn't matter. The T54E1, I still wish they would buff the penetration on this for the 105. I still remember some of the games I had in it. It was so much fun. A lot of fun. You couldn't pen a damn thing. But it's still a pretty fun tank. Something that a lot of people don't know is that this thing only gets 6 degrees of gun depression over the sides. I can't show it to you right now, but it has the little model boxes of its kit of the for things like tools and a toolbox basically on the sides, and that basically cuts off some of the gun depression from 8 degrees to 6 degrees on the sides for some reason. The Super Persian got a buff. Okay, this does nothing. This does nothing in Wargaming. Give it the penetration buff and engine buff, and there you go. T1 Cunningham. This got a little bit of a buff. Not entirely sure why, but okay. M6 got a pretty... It got a new model. A better 76mm gun. Okay, it really doesn't mean much. All the Shermans. These all got better armor. Updated tank armor, increased gun armor, which is good to see. And the Jumbo actually got a traverse buff to 34, which is good. It needs it. I'm very happy to see this. The soft and medium terrains were one things above. I'm still glad to see it. T23A3. Why has that got a buff? I don't know why. Here we go. The T34. About goddamn time. About fucking time, Wargaming. Now, thank you for buffing this. I'm very happy about that. But you still need to lower this aim time down to 2.8 and buff the reload to 13 seconds. And give the engine the 860 like from the T30. You do that, and this is for the T30, T29, and the T34. Have the traverse and the ground resistance of all three into the T29s. So it gets 26 degrees of traverse, and the ground resistance are exactly the same. The main difference are basically exactly what? The guns and the tiers and what they are. The T29 is still going to be one of the strongest ones of them all. And then the T30 and then the T34. But whatever. This is Wargaming. They're not going to fucking listen. As usual. PC Council. Blitz is the only one that listened to this. Which is ironic. M3 Lee got a buff. T1 Heavy got a buff. And here we go. This is surprising. The T32 got a buff. What? What? When did they do this? Why? It needs it. It really does need a buff. This thing is pretty freaking terrible. The gun is absolute trash. But I'm still surprised by this. Why couldn't they just buff the 105, though? Even more, like the penetration buff. They got a big accuracy buff, which is good, because it was terrible. The 90mm, they'll give the 90mm the pen buff and the Pershing, but not the T32 because reasons. M2 medium buff. Damn it. The Pershing, holy shit. I never expected this to get a buff. Especially this big. 190 to 221 penetration. Holy shit. I never expected them to give it a 30mm buff to the penetration. A better dispersion, a 0.3 second faster reload. I'm amazed. I'm super tempted to buy back the Pershing now. This looks awesome. The Jackson got a buff, which is good to see. Well, not a buff, a model change and whatnot. M43 was changed to model. The Scorpion got a buff, which is nice. And here we go, the T28 and the T28 prototype. I'm a little sad to see that the T28 didn't get the model change from PC, because it looks pretty flippin' badass, the way it looks on PC. T28 prototype, I think if they do it, the T28, I think they need to do it for the prototype as well. Just because. I think that makes sense. The T92 updated HD. Here's something interesting. They nerfed the T95. You want the truth? I sold this. I sold my T95. I played 2 or 3 games in it, and it's where it should be. The reload on the thing still needs to be nerfed to like 19.5 second reload or something like that. But still, I'm glad to see that this thing got a nerf. Because now, which would you rather play? This or the T95? This or, wow. This or the E3? Christ. Jesus. Fucking wargaming. The M46 patent got a buff. I don't know why. They buffed the thing, which it's already super strong. You now need 40,000 XP to get to the M48. Although, considering the fact that they got rid of the 90 and a crappy 105 from it, it makes sense, so it's actually fine. The T25 AT and the T25/2, they both got pen buffs. Oh my god! I'm so excited. Oh, I'll be turning my T25/2 soon. It's gonna be fun. The M103! Holy shit! I can't believe they buffed this. They gave it a gun, because of the Conqueror, they gave this 10 degrees of gun depression too. And they buffed the HP. It now has 1900 health. Instead, like 1850. That is good to see. I'm glad to see that it got a buff. It needs a buff. Too bad it doesn't have a roof, the turret roof buff to like 57 millimeters where it should be. But still good to see that it got a buff. I played a couple of games and it feels a lot better than before. E3 and the E4. The E4 got a bigger fire penalty. I still don't know what that means. The E3 got a better penalty, got a lower penalty. And then they nerfed the rotation to 19 and they increased the reload to 20.5 seconds. Why? Why? I still think that the E3 should have better mobility, like top speed, but it trades some of that armor in order to get it. That's how I think I should. The E3 from Blitz is the perfect explanation. It has much worse armor. Its armor is still strong, but it's not ridiculous like it is on PC and console, which I say is good. T21 got a buff. T22, basically a tier 1, don't give a shit. The T71 got a buff for the 76, which does not mean much. T49 got a buff. You got an aim time buff for the 90mm on the second turret, which is interesting. Like, I might try it out. The T67 got a nerf. Good to see, the annoying little seal clubbing bastards. Artillery, don't care. The M8 got a buff, which is surprising. T56 got a buff. Okay. More buffs. Nerf. Buff. Change. Capture King Tiger. I'm surprised to see this. I might actually buy the King Tiger. The Capture King Tiger. This actually looks pretty interesting now. I might actually try it. I might actually buy it if it wasn't fucking 10,000 gold. Now we're back on the Russia! Anyway. A20, 43, 44, they basically changed some stuff, don't care. The T43 got a buff. I'm still not gonna buy it. The T44 got a buff to its 100mm, which is good to see. I'm curious to try that out. Still no 122 buff, which makes me very sad to see. I was really hoping that they would actually buff that, but I guess not, because wargaming. It was really slow on buffing this stuff for some goddamn reason. The T50 got a small nerf. T54 got... Oh my god. The T54 doesn't need a buff. It needs a nerf. The heat penetration needs a nerf. Anyone who wants to argue this, you can go fuck off. The Mod 1 got a buff. Good to see, actually. It actually needs it. A better turn armor and 1 degree gun depression more. Cool. Tanks I don't use. Tanks I don't use. T100 needs a nerf. I don't care what anyone says. I think an armor nerf would be better choice, but whatever. T150 just gun model changes went on. S51 got a buff for some goddamn reason. Artillery. Basically all artillery right here. Except for the SU-76M, which got a buff. SU-100Y got a buff for its its price for the shells, which is good to see. SU-122A, fucking artillery. SU-101 got a buff, which is interesting to see. SU-122-54 got a buff. It really doesn't change much, but good to see, actually. SU-152 got a buff. I don't know why. ISU-130 got a buff. The wrong kind of buff, but a buff nonetheless. ISU lost the BL-10. Press F to pay respects. 704 got a nerf. Research cost nerf. IS got a buff. Fatherland got some changes, not much. Some changes. KV-13 got a buff. Which is a bit surprising, actually. When I played it, it was pretty fun. I still don't know why, though. KV-2 got a buff, nerf to the 107. Doesn't really matter. KV-3 got a huge buff, but for the wrong gun, unfortunately. But good to see you got one. KV-4 got a buff with the 122, which is terrible. The KV-85 got a buff, which did... A reload buff is great wargaming, but can I have some gun depression instead, please? How about that? That'd be nice. Artillery can go fuck itself. A 263 got a reload nerf. Okay. Everybody stop getting your panties in a fucking knot, alright? The tank actually needs a nerf. Just because fucking Unicums are the only ones that play it, does not mean it shouldn't get a buff. Or a nerf. This doesn't change anything, really. It still is very strong. It's still isn't. It's an IS-7 without a turret, okay? Calm the fuck down, people. Jesus. 430, buff, some changes. Nerfs, which is good to see. Too bad it's not armor nerf. That thing fucking needs it. They made the research to 268 lower. I don't really know whether to see that as a good thing or not, but okay. And now we have the mercenaries. The slapjack was nerfed, the big top was nerfed, and so was the stubs. I don't know why they nerfed them. The slapjack, the mantle on that thing is already terrible. You can really shit pan for the thing for some reason, but okay. Big top, that got a nerf as well. I don't know why, but it's wargame. And here we go. At the bottom of the list, well then, you guys can see right here, that's the end of the list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be putting the link in the description to show you the list of changes for this, for update 4.6. So, well, alright then. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you later.